Hiya crafty folks, Amy here with Amy's Wares, and today I'm going to do some simple stamping. Now this is a new to me older stamp set called I Miss Your Hugs from My Favorite Things. If it's still available, I will link it in the video description box below. Here's a photo of the finished card. It's single layer, nice and bright and colorful. It'll be easy to ship, and it was just fun to make. So sometimes I feel like stamping. I don't do it very often, but every once in a while with a really cool stamp set like this, I'll kind of get in the mood to bust out some bright, happy colors and just do some very simple stamping. So I am working on a US A2 size card base that's 4¼ inches by 5½. I do have it loaded in my original size Misty, and I'm basically just using it to stamp the sentiment, and then I'm going to free range stamp the rest of those rainbows all over the place. So you can absolutely use your Misty, but I just feel like sometimes it's easier to just use a stamping block if you're comfortable with that. So I did do the stamping for the inside of the card as well as that sentiment on the front. Just picking a couple from the set and some bright, vibrant colors. Now I use the mini Catherine Pooler ink pads just because I like to collect those. I think they work well in my storage space. I have all the colors and all the re-inkers, but they do have full-size ink pads as well if you prefer that. Now here I stamped a paper hug for you in a nice bright blue color, and then I'm going to stamp the cute little rainbow in a yellow color, limoncello, on the inside of the card on top of that sentiment, just to add a fun little something to continue the design onto the inside of the card. So I will try and show you all the colors here. I'm just trying to create a very basic rainbow. I have Grape Crush, Fiesta Blue, I don't remember what the green one is, Limoncello, Rockin' Red, and Orange Twist, I believe. So the green one is the only one I'm not sure off the top of my head. I'll try and tell you that when I get to it. But again, I'm just trying to create a very basic traditional sort of rainbow here. So I use the Rockin' Red for the sentiment for the front of the card. Again, I'm not working on a layer. If you're more comfortable with this, you can absolutely work on a layer. I'm just using a scrap piece of paper because I do want to continue the design off the edge of the card. It does kind of I don't know, it just creates a better composition that way. But I am going to work through the rainbow colors, and I am going to kind of try and do one of each color to start, and then I will kind of start filling in the open spaces. So I wasn't sure exactly how much room I would have, so I started with just kind of one color of each of the rainbows and then kind of went from there because I wanted to make sure I represented all the colors. So I'm working through the rainbow, just kind of turning the stamp different directions. I do kind of go a little bit more willy-nilly and upside down on the next round as I'm kind of filling in more. But again, you could absolutely do this with the Misty. I just feel like it would be a lot more work cleaning it off and repositioning it and things like that. I felt like it was just easier to just do it on the stamp block and then just clean it off in between colors. But again, you do you, whatever works best. This worked out really well for me. So I am using my magnet from my Misty. I do have a magnetic glass mat. I'm just using that to kind of hold the card base closed so it doesn't pop open on me. I know if you're like me, you can see all the extra ink I have around the ink block. Sometimes when I freehand stamp, I get a little into it and I don't clean up well, and then I'll kind of get some extra ink from that block onto my project where I don't mean to. So if you take your time and you're not Miss Messy Pants like me, you probably won't have that problem, but just know that that's why I'm trying to use the magnet to kind of keep myself from making a colossal mess. So I think I did have a little mess ups here and there, especially when I kind of came in with a little filling in of the hearts. But again, that's just the blingage moment, right? That's when you can bring in bling if you use it, or other ways to kind of cover up your mistakes. Maybe you're going to put a sentiment on and a sentiment strip, or like a die cut sentiment. Just think of different ways that you can kind of cover up your mistakes if they bother you. If they don't bother you, then meh, who cares? It's a homemade card, right? Anyway, I have this cute little heart, and I just decided to go in first of all with the red, but then I decided to bring in other colors from the design as well, not just the red, because I didn't want too much red. Since the sentiment was already red, I wanted to kind of balance it out a little bit. So I start with the red and then kind of switch to different colors for the hearts, and then this is a fun way to just kind of fill in the openings. So if you have a stamp set, always start with your biggest stamps first, and then work your way down in size and kind of fill in the openings. I find that the easiest way to do it. And again, this is a fun way to maybe bust out some little stamps from your stamp set. So maybe look at your stamp sets that you have in your stash and figure out which ways you can use them. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please hit the thumbs up and consider subscribing, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.